Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We're gonna hum. Hello everyone and welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV coverage of WWE's TLC 2015. I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. We have a lot to get to. 7 matches plus a bonus match, so 8 matches. I'm gonna need some help. So joining me to the left, they didn't give me the memo to at least wear a red shirt, if not a Brie-mode shirt. Starting with the lovely Christy Olson.
Well, like I said, we knew that you didn't have a Team Bella shirt, so
that's fair.
You gotta be Team Bella to rock it. And you guys can all follow me, fellow Team Bella members or not, at Christy Report.
And in the modern AFTERBUZZ TV predictions champion era, he is the second defending champion. He is George Hermoza.
I got my Brie-mo t-shirt as I defend and successfully defend my championship.
You were taking that championship into 2016.
The champ is here. There's no co-champion this month, Olsen.
You had to share it with me
It's the sole champion.
Congrats.
For the last 2 months. I wasn't here last month, thank God. But apparently I am the 2-time defending, or I'm sorry, whatever it is.
The current
2 in a row.
You were the reigning defending.
2 in a row.
Should probably get the vocab down.
Saw that matters.
Reigning and defending, taking it into 2016. AFTERBUZZ TV predictions champion.
God, I love this theme song, but I like the fact that he played it like not just like 10 seconds. It was like
that
like
played into our whole world.
Hey.
So we're talking about Becky Lynch. We're just gonna jump right into it. Yeah. The preview match.
I jumped into it.
You jumped right into it.
I literally jumped into it.
The preview match, we get Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks.
I love this theme song too.
And Sasha Banks is out with Naomi and Tamina, and they cut a promo as Team Bad, the only remaining solid team of the Divas Revolution.
Yeah, they're keeping them together because they need a female the New Day.
I don't see things that way, Christy.
Oh, I think that's where they're going with Team Bad.
I like it. Well, actually, when I saw them later with the wigs,
But I like the synergy with them. Like, I know that they have a lot of a good relationship with on Twitter and whatnot, and on the up down down or whatever the YouTube thing is. But like, I don't know, I just like the whole camaraderie between them when Team Bad came out on Raw and had the unicorns. I thought that was just kind of cool.
I like all of it. And Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, we get a lot of them in NXT.
Before we go on to the match, though, I know Mick Foley kind of lashed out at the WWE a few weeks ago because he said, I mean, it kind of stemmed from not giving Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks enough time. He's like, oh, how do these girls only get 4 minutes? And I actually disagree with Mick Foley because it's just the Raw or SmackDown. Those are supposed to be the build-ups to these kind of matches. And and even on the NXT, you don't really see those kind of matches on the regular weekly show. You see those kind of matches on the takeover shows.
Yeah.
So I don't mind seeing the 4 or 5 minute match on Raw as long as I see the 10, 15 minute match on the pay-per-view or the pre-show. And because this match was phenomenal. I'm not just over-exaggerating. This match
was wonderful.
Great.
So we can move on.
This match was great.
But no, someone had a Stump George for you. I was trying to get it ready.
So you say something, Christy?
It doesn't.
Let's get to Stump George.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't fit into anywhere specifically, so I was going to wait until we talk about this match a little more before we jump into it.
Probably shouldn't have brought it up, Steve.
You say something, Mark, about this match.
It was good. It's very interesting how this match was like a main event caliber match on a takeover, but it's the pre-show match now.
I also find that. Mark Donica in the booth. In the booth, by the way, I didn't introduce him.
In some ways, though, the opening matches, I know it's the pre-show, then you have the opening match, but sometimes the first match of the card is the most important. And you can tell by the crowd reaction that this match definitely, the crowd definitely got behind it, and definitely were into it in many ways.
And considering the fact that Becky Lynch should have been in the Divas match that happened on the actual pay-per-view, at least she got this moment.
And for those of you who are nerds about numbers, Charlotte and Paige got 10 minutes 39 seconds, whereas Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch got 11 minutes 43 seconds.
Yeah.
Now that's like a tiny amount of time, but it's worth noting that they got more time than the champ, than the champ and the champ's match. And I've actually been on record since the Divas Revolution started that we should, instead of Charlotte getting the belt first, should have given it to Becky Lynch. Because everyone they called up is deserving, but Becky Lynch of those three would be the most likely to get lost in the shuffle. Luckily,
she did.
Well, she's still there.
Oh, well, at the beginning, she definitely was pushed to the back burner when she first came up to the
Little
roster.
But I always felt that would be of the people they called up, she's the one that no, you should definitely give her the championship, let her stand aside as herself as the best. And if you wanted to turn Paige heel, you wanted to do whatever you're gonna do, you can do that. But that's where you start. They didn't do that, but Becky Lynch still proving her worth, and Sasha Banks on the main roster. We're finally getting one-on-one matches that mean something, that aren't a part of this big, grandiose team warfare, and will the teams collapse? And
yeah, that never really worked out, I think, the way that they wanted it to.
well,
Except for Team Bad, they're still together because they got,
Yeah.
say it with me, unity.
we didn't say it with you.
Yeah,
We don't have.
unity.
There it is. But I'm not going to go on the same rant I've always gone on about the Divas Revolution, but it's worth noting that a revolution usually goes against the establishment, so they had an uphill battle when the establishment establishes them. When Stephanie McMahon literally a month or two early is like, no, the women just won the World Cup, let's go do this, and let's just call everybody up, and I'm Stephanie McMahon and it'll be fine. And I'm like, you're like one of the best heels on the roster. And now, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go on that rant.
They weren't given anything to actually revolt against.
Exactly.
And plus, my biggest thing is, I don't think it's fair for them to call it a revolution. I think other people should have called it a revolution.
They're just trying to do their thing.
Yeah.
And no one said that.
Like Josh Barnett, who was an MMA fighter, said it best, where it's like, you're not allowed to give yourself a nickname.
Yep. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to call it a revolution.
It's like when Michael Cole was trying to call Rhino the Gore Machine over and
Oh my God.
over on Monday night.
Not only that, but he kept trying to imply that was totally a thing. Which I think most
As
people
if we wouldn't know that wasn't a thing.
I think most people who are even looking at my face for the very first time can look me dead in the face and realize that's not a thing, and I would definitely know.
Thanks, Michael Cole.
We're gonna move on. Sasha Banks went over Becky Lynch via submission. Two things about this match. One, they cut to commercial in the middle.
We could have done without that.
It's a pet peeve of mine. If you're having a live match and then you cut to commercial, what you're saying is that part of the match, nothing's going to happen, and you lose me a little where it's like anything can happen at any moment. I know this is the free show, it's on all the markets, so if these eyes don't want to buy the network just for TLC, you got to give them a commercial of like what else is in that network. I get it. It's a production and a placement thing. And Becky Lynch's tap was a little
weird.
She wasn't tapping for her life, as you would in that submission. But we move on. The match was still great. And you speak a lot of the opening match and then the pre-show match. The opening match of this pay-per-view, plural, was the New Day, which is Big E and Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods on commentary, the Usos, and the Lucha Dragons. Perfect match to start this pay-per-view. The titles are already up there. I had to think about that. No, the titles are already up there. As much as I would have loved to see a referees fighting, like wrestling the titles off of the New Day. New Day come out. There it is.
Oh, big time! I just love like he adds like so many extra syllables to like 1 or 2 syllable words. It's like, in power is 2 syllables, but when Biggie says it, it's like 17. Power! But what's the first thing we noticed when New Day came out? I know we were all a little disappointed, but then we found out why.
Xavier Wood, first thing we noticed, he comes out, we all go, oh.
Boring hair.
And then we realize Xavier Woods doesn't have the hairstyle. And then it's immediately
Boston doesn't deserve it.
And it's immediately called out that, hey, Boston doesn't deserve it. And I'm like, yes. All about it. Also, I think we sold out of New Day socks. I'm not taking responsibility for that. I'm just saying, I've been asking for these New Day socks for a while.
I can't.
They finally get them in, and they're gone.
Sell them. I can't. I haven't made it. But you New Day unicorns are still on the site.
Yeah, the unicorn.
But I heard those sell out pretty good live on the live shows.
I can imagine.
Sure.
The unicorns, because there's beanies and headbands. There's both of those, right? I'm not making that up. All right. Anyway, they come out to the ring, scathing promo, as per their usual. Because they're so likable. Okay, we get it. There it is. We'll go.
I'm gonna keep going.
If you start thrusting and doing the Big E thing, we're just gonna kick you right.
Well, it's only when
That's
they say
where we cut you off, George.
WWE Tag Team
All right.
Champions.
That's just gonna go. I'll allow it.
Chat roll.
But yeah,
but they have a match.
they have, but they are so likable. They have an uphill battle to make people not like them up top, and they win every time. They're like, how can we be annoying? That's why the trombone got introduced. Let's cut down their city. Let's do everything we can to be literal heels. And even then, people like them because they hate them. They're the New Day. They're perfect. Live 1,000 years. And then out next, we have the Usos, Jimmy and Jey.
Yeah.
Who about 2 years ago got the same tattoos in the same place, so I cannot tell them apart. And then after them, the Lucha Dragons, who were our current champions' choice to win this match.
Yeah, okay. Can we talk about that for a second? Major Biff. Come on.
It's okay.
What was your thought process behind the Lucha Dragons winning this match?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I know we gotta go into the card. My thought process was I had so many heels winning that I needed a baby face or two. No joke.
That was
and I picked Ambrose, but I thought he was gonna win by DQ. That's the only reason why I picked Ambrose. But I only picked Lucha Dragons because I had Sheamus, I had Del Rio, I had Rusev. I'm like, dude, we need a babyface team up in this. I'm not saying that the New Day wouldn't have won it back, because I thought they would have won it back. But I just thought, hey, give Lucha Dragons a shot for like a month or so, and then so either way, it doesn't matter because I'm still the champ, and that's all that matters.
That's fair. That's fair. I just had to call.
And can you imagine the gloating I would have done had it would have gone
perfect again?
So you're welcome for picking the new Luchas.
Fair enough. Haywood Wong in the chat said, #Creepy George is on crack tonight. I'll just let that ruminate in the world.
Don't feed the trolls.
Chat roll thinks they're freaking experts on...
Anyway.
But they had a match.
Anyway.
Yeah. The New Day had a match. It went 17 minutes, 46 seconds. They had a lot of these, just the wonderful standard 3-team tag ladder match spots.
I've been waiting for one of these matches for a long time. I haven't seen like a multiple team match since Armageddon 06. When it was like Eminem, London Kendrick, the Hardys, and like Regal and Dave Taylor out of all people.
Oh, I remember that match.
But I loved it because it reminded me a lot of like the 2000 ladder matches with Hardys, Edge and Christian, and Dudley Boys. So I was very ecstatic when I saw this match being announced as a 3-team match. There's just something about tag team ladder matches that you're going to see something great. And this match definitely exceeded all my expectations.
Yeah. And it's going to be some of the hungriest guys on the card, the most hungriest and qualified on the card. And they just went for it.
Well, yeah, like I know you guys like to remind me when I say I get bored when matches don't start off crazy and like are very fast paced. Like, oh, but they're telling a story and that's okay too. I could not have ever made that complaint about this match. They started with the melee. I love it when it's like everybody just fist to fist, and it just went for it was like you couldn't even hardly keep up. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? Like I like that.
I like that a lot too.
I want to be half confused. My Bella, I know. I forgot to put on my other ones. I'm still Team Bella, guys. I think you know.
#Creepy George.
I know.
I'll just divert to #Creepy George. And this match is great.
He's like #Creepy Champ.
But yeah, new day over. We got Xavier Woods on the commentary, which was, we weren't even 10 minutes into the like formal card, and I'm like, yes, everything. Xavier Woods just saying words, plugging up, down, down, talking about 2K. Like at one point, they're all resting on the outside, and he was like, anyone who's played 2K16 knows you gotta rest and let your stamina rise. And then he gets to plug his YouTube channel and everything about Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods runs the interference.
I totally dug that reference because I'm not going to lie. I'm not just saying it, just say it. Past 3 weeks, I have been playing WWE 2K16 like a madman. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. But my PlayStation Network name is also G Hermoza. So you can always tell, like, dude, I'm always playing that game. And I know exactly what to talk about. And I chuckled when he said it because I'm so with there. Because I hate it when my stamina runs out and I can't do anything.
I just now learned that you play that game as well. So
yeah, but you explained that as if
4?
we wouldn't believe you. As if we wouldn't believe that you would spend a lot of time just playing the WWE game and not doing a whole lot else.
Last I played 2K16, it was on a 360, but I can adapt to a PS4.
I got a PlayStation 4, so anybody who wants some of this,
I know.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it again.
Mark put the music on for you to do it again, but.
I mean that's not why, but I'll take it.
All of our podcast listeners have left to go to YouTube and see what George is doing right now.
Or all the YouTube watchers will be like, you know, screw this, I'm just gonna listen to it on iTunes.
Where I can't hear
Fair
George's
enough.
gyrations.
So match number 3, we get Rusev against Ryback.
Whoop whoop.
I'll have to wait for it.
For he's at least the second or third time in a 30-day period. Mm-hmm. The big importance leading into...
I thought his newer one. Isn't it?
I mean...
I like the newer one. Meat on the table. That's the only part of the song I know.
Okay.
Meat on the table. Why isn't it?
But here's the thing. Lana and Rusev are legit engaged in real life. And WWE dropped all the Dolph Ziggler stuff to just move forward with, nope, they're together now. They're together now. He's Bulgarian. Summer Rae's gone. And it was a very muddly time for Rusev. And here he is up against Ryback, and I didn't believe Ryback had a chance. It was a great match. Two great guys. Like, it was a good strongman match. I also had trouble really believing there's anything for me to grasp at for Ryback. Of like, why do I want Ryback to win other than the fact that I kind of don't like Rusev?
Honestly, and maybe I know you're going to agree with me, I know that Ryback wants it. Like, any interview I've heard him talk, he's always like, dude, I want to be the next John Cena. And there's a cool story with him on the Austin podcast where he was talking to Vince and saying, like, he went into Vince's office and was like, you know, I want this, you know, I want to be in number one guy in your company.
Yeah.
And Vince was like, well, you're never going to be number one guy if you keep thinking it's my company. It's our company. And then the Ryback kind of got it. So I think if we hear him talk more, I really think the fans will get behind him a little bit more. I want to hear him talk more.
Yeah, I've also heard that podcast, and that was the first time I had ever seen that other side of Ryback.
Go ahead, Mark.
I even think right now the fact that he's having more fun with his matches is showing people that he has so much more to offer than they're letting him.
I agree.
Yeah. And
Both Jericho and Austin's podcast, he definitely showed a lot of character that I didn't know he had in him.
And I really hope they find a way to give him that chance to show us who he is, and not just like the big heartstringy thing that they gave him a couple months ago on that Reign IC Championship, where he was like, I did The Secret, my life was weird. Like, he really like shoehorned that in, and it was like where it could just be more like, no, I'm Ryback.
And I like that fact that, and if you kind of follow him on Instagram or Twitter, I know you do, he kind of tries to not just be the power guy. He's working on a treadmill. He did like an over-the-top rope jump the other day on Raw, I think. I was like, wow, like you can really tell he really is doing everything he can. Like you can tell he wants this. And while I picked Rusev to win, I really want to see more things for Ryback. I want him to have a very strong showing at the Rumble.
That would be a perfect like sleeper to win the Rumble on points. Mm-hmm. Which, for those of you who don't know, I run a thing called the Rumble Matrix, where it's like fantasy football, where you can get points for everything. Because it's one of the few times in wrestling you get actual data on what they're doing in the ring. So I like to create, like, you pick 3 people and then a 4th person who's unannounced. this would be a good year to make him what Roman Reigns was 2 years ago, where he just has this incredible showing, and he's somebody who's believable in that role, but you don't build him as a contender for the Rumble as much as you build him for other stuff, and then he comes in at 10 and makes it to the Final Four.
I know you're a big Ryback fan, but I know you didn't pick Ryback to win.
No, I just didn't. I just knew that storyline wise, it wasn't going to happen.
Summer Rae would have been, or it's not Summer Rae. Alana would have been a factor.
Yeah. But
I agree.
If he was in a title match, I always pick him because I'm doing the secret thing and I'm putting that out there. But since it wasn't a title match, I went selfish. I'm trying to win my title too, so.
Which you did.
I went Rusev.
Joseph Boza in the chat brings up a good point. So, are we supposed to believe that Rusev can't win a match unless Lana fakes an injury?
Joseph Boza wasn't in my UFC chat.
He was. Oh. And I like that point, and I think it just goes to...
He wasn't.
It goes to that ultimately Ryback can be better than Rusev, but Rusev can win.
I mean, that's
I'm okay with
heel.
Yeah, I'm okay with that story because you look at Ryback and you look at Rusev, they're both just monsters.
Right, and the reason why I thought that Rusev had to win tonight was because they're doing all this lovey-dovey stuff with Lana, and it's making him look a little,
Well, and the League of Nations has to look strong.
Floofy? Floofy? Is that a good word? That's floofy. So he has to go out there and actually win a match against a guy like Ryback so that he doesn't look like some love-struck fool whose girlfriend is running the show and tripping all over the place making him win matches. Mm-hmm.
And the argument could be made that Lana did that anyway, but I think the larger argument is that everyone's believing they're even, and it would be a 50-50 go each time, and it's just tonight he won because he took the advantage, which is a bit of a theme tonight because of 8 matches, the face won two times. Charlotte and Dean Ambrose.
So obsessed with the heels and the faces and the numbers.
Charlotte's arguable,
and it's like a heel and a face and a half. Won tonight over 8 matches.
That's why I picked the Luchas to win.
Fractions.
That's why Christy and I picked ECW to win. We're gonna go to match number 4. It's Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger.
Oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
Well,
this was a good match for a chairs match.
Oh, this was a wonderful chairs match. Yeah, this was a wonderful chairs match.
Which can be either a compliment or an insult. I mean, it was a good match for a chairs match. And I'm a huge Del Rio fan. I forgot my action figure. Damn it.
Part of me honestly thinks somewhere within those ranks, they pay attention to this championship race we do. Maybe that's me being silly and selfish. And they're like, oh, the tiebreaker's how many chairs do we use? Let's use 30 chairs. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm pretty sure they used more than 25 chairs in this match, and
That's how it should be.
And I loved every bit of it.
Yes.
At one point, it's like, okay, two people, 2 chairs.
Before we go on, can I just say I'm so thankful that there was no stairs match. Because I thought that was so dumb last year. Tables, ladders, and chairs, and stairs match.
I forgot about that.
And if you were to have a stairs match, it should be with someone the size of Big Show or Rusev. Or if Ryback and Rusev were a stairs match, that would make a little more sense because those are big dudes with upper body strength.
And they had the stair incident a couple weeks ago.
That too, it would have actually made sense, but I'm happy they ditched it completely because stairs are heavy. I don't want the stairs to ever not be heavy, and you can always just use them. My problem with this match is I don't think they did a good enough job with Jack Swagger in this
leading up to it.
In the 3 weeks they had, maybe 4 weeks they had.
Can someone count to 3?
Why?
Just count to 3.
1,
6,
2,
8,
3.
We the people.
You're welcome for that setup. I don't usually give people setups, but they didn't really build up Jack Swagger to the level
This water's amazing.
where he would beat the guy who beat John Cena.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with anyone. Well, that's the problem with how they book John Cena. So if somebody comes in and beats John Cena, it needs to be LOL. Alberto Del Rio wins every month, every week. That said, these two had a great match. There were a couple moments where I suspended disbelief. I like the Zeb Coulter stuff. I need more time on the Mex America stuff.
Well, they separated already. They're done.
They're done?
Yeah.
All right. Then I don't need more time. It happened. I'm happy with that turn of events. Did it happen on SmackDown?
On Raw.
Okay. It's been a busy week, guys.
It's okay, Steve.
I saw Breaking Ground this week. What did you guys think of this match?
I mean, like I said, I thought it was good for a stairs match.
For a stairs match?
Yeah, I mean, I should have been a stairs match. No, I thought it was good for a stairs match. I mean, that's all I got to say about that. I mean, we've seen them before, obviously, with their roles reversed, with, you know, Swagger being the heel, Del Rio being the face. I mean, they had some good matches. I mean, I'm not going to lie into this that they had a great match. I mean, their chemistry is okay. I mean, I've seen better matches for each guys, but...
I just love Alberto Del Rio as a heel.
Yeah.
I just love Del Rio in general.
Heals it up so well.
I love this theme song. Like, we're going to talk about theme songs now. I think this is one of the best non-lyrics theme song, like, top 5. Like him, Rude, Piper. No, not Piper. I don't know. There's a few, but I think Del Rio's is up there. Piper's old WWE, not like the newer one that they came back.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna whistle and hum theme songs now.
I truly love this theme song.
And yeah, Alberto Del Rio over, as we'd expect. Alberto Del Rio also a part of the League of Nations, so that's a second reason to keep him looking strong.
I love Michelle McCool's theme song too.
All right. We don't need that to be pulled
Random
up.
thought of the day.
Got it. And I just...
Who had a great ladder or table match, like, in 2010.
You see how we tied it all together? It was down with the TLC.
Yep.
You're
I get
not
you.
enough for me.
I get you. And Del Rio over, he gets to look strong. Rusev gets to look strong.
As well as Del Rio.
Barrett gets to hang out at catering.
Yeah, where was that
Did he have to
guy?
go home? I don't know what's up with Barrett. He was probably just back there. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't as believable for Reigns to take down 3 people later in the night. I don't know. There was no Barrett. Barrett is a part of the league.
Because he routinely takes down 4 on Raw and SmackDown all the time.
But it's pay-per-view. Different.
Right.
It's a different.
It shouldn't be as good.
It's a different modifier on the character. Let's jump into this match. Was a lot of fun. The Wyatt Family versus Team ECW. Mm-hmm. We get a promo from Team ECW beforehand, with its mainly Devon, testifying and saying, "We live, we breathe, we die extreme, and we're gonna do this, and we can take them to this dark place." Yeah, I would like for that, instead of Rhino, they could pluck up a young guy like a young NXT guy, even just for that week. Mm-hmm. That would fit their ideals, but not. It just wouldn't look like a bunch of old guys getting a paycheck.
I think Sami Callihan would have been, or Solomon Crow.
Solomon,
I guess now Sami Callihan.
But that's who I was. But like, I know he's too early in his repackaging to do. But like,
and released.
That's that early.
Yeah.
Or late, depending on where you're looking in the spectrum.
I mean, honestly, I was totally waiting for Spike Dudley. I thought he would have been a better fit.
I would have liked a Spike
Rhino,
Dudley,
but obviously Spike Dudley would have.
Because you could have won another way, and instead of a Dreamer and a Rhino, you could have just brought people up to be different Dudleys. Because there were like 12 Dudleys. Dances with Dudleys, Big D Dudley, Spike Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley, Joel Gertner,
Dudley,
Dudley, Dances with Dudleys. And then there was just Joel Gertner, who was a Dudley but never used the name. He was just like, "No, I'm Joel Gertner, also a Dudley." Any of those people.
Where are they now?
I do like Rhino. I do like them calling people up from NXT, like a young rookie like Rhino.
Yeah, right. Who we never could have guessed would have been the one.
No. Or did you predict that? And is that on a SmackDown?
We talked about that a lot. Yeah.
But this match was great. I love a good hardcore match, even in the PG era. Because everything minus hitting people in the head with things happened.
Mm-hmm. Cheese grater.
An axe handle.
Why is it out there? Why is it cheese grater out there?
I told you guys earlier.
I got a kick out of that.
If you're Tommy Dreamer, you travel with a cheese grater, and you show up early, and then hide the cheese grater under the ring.
I guess so.
Duh.
Duh.
That was on one of the ECW documentaries. Barbed City. I think it was on Barbed City. He talks
That's funny.
exclusively about...
I picture like night vision video of him like sneaking under. They're like sneaking around the arena. Sneaking under.
I buy that. Mm-hmm. Who gets eliminated first? It's Rowan, right?
Hell yeah. Eric Rowan.
Yeah. That didn't take long.
Eric Rowan gets 3D'd through the table, 4 minutes in. And then we... Okay,
Dude, I missed the clap. Like,
there's no clap anymore.
Yeah, I know. Like I know they did it like around WrestleMania 30. Like I thought that was a more. Don't get me wrong. The visual is amazing, but I do miss like it was a lot. I thought it was very cool as far as hearing everybody clap to the Wyatt's theme song.
Agreed.
I do miss the I've got the whole world in my hands too.
Mm-hmm.
That'll come back.
I hope so.
That's just a part of his repertoire. Anyway, I'm just gonna go by elimination. Rhino is next. He's eliminated by a big boot from Harper. Right before any of that, we get Strowman big booting a chair or big booting a table, and then everyone freaks out in the room we are, where it's like, that's it, Strowman's gone, ECW wins, it's gonna be amazing.
That's what we thought.
Nope, referee's like, nope, you're good. And it's like, oh, okay.
So that's how it works.
Good for us.
Good to know.
Good for us. All right. That's okay. It's his call. He has that authority. And now we get Devon Dudley. He's side slammed through a table by Wyatt. That side slam looks awfully familiar from something Bubba Ray Dudley does not too long after. They're both standing rock bottoms, if you will. And then Harper suicide dives Dreamer through a table. I thought that was very nice. And then we get Bubba Ray Dudley gets chokeslammed through a table by Braun Strowman, the Wyatt family over. The Wyatt family finally gets to win.
And there was no fire involved.
What a tease.
Despite the crazy setup.
What a tease.
As we would never have guessed, the table wasn't actually going to end up on fire.
I knew it wasn't gonna, but
in a
I was
public
like,
place.
I still was like, no.
Well,
You thought it was going to happen. He really thought it was going to happen.
I also thought it was really going to happen.
It wasn't going to happen.
And it reminds me of if you...
Bless your guys' hearts for, hanging on to that.
Because we're talking about video games, and we're just going to keep doing that, it reminds me of if you ever play any of the WWE video games online, you can light a table on fire, but because it's a video game, the table will just stay on fire. And nothing will frustrate me more than losing. Nothing will frustrate me more than when somebody lights a table on fire and then just pins me and the match is over. Or if I wind up pinning them or they tap out and I'm like, but the table.
You want your character to die in a fiery inferno?
If you're going to pin me and I'm going to lose, put me through a flaming table. Do it.
They never would have done it, but it made it look like because he got put through the table that was all gassy, that Bray would have just lit Bubba Ray on fire.
I did like that.
Yeah.
But, you can't
Also
do
knew that wasn't going to happen.
more murder on the damn network. You'd have to pay more than $10.
Yeah, you got to pay at least $12 to see flaming table murder. But I just hashtag flaming table murder.
That sounds derogatory.
Yeah, I kind of just didn't want them to go there, but they did, and I got excited and I suspended my disbelief that no, WWE's
You guys no, he has a lighter. It's gonna happen.
Because first it's like, well, no, WWE's a publicly traded company. Why would they light a table on fire in front of that many people in the TD Garden? But then I'm like, WWE is a publicly traded company. They can do whatever they want. If they want to light a table on fire, they will light a table on fire. They got halfway there. They poured gasoline onto a table, lighter fluid onto a table, and then didn't light it on fire. It happens. I'm over it. The Wyatt's over. I'm happy the Wyatts get to look strong. Mm-hmm. Do we think these guys are sticking around? Not the Wyatts. The team. Do we think Team ECW is sticking around?
Guys.
I think Dreamer will. I think they are.
They usually give them a 6-month contract, right, when they come back.
Dreamer, if you believe everything you read on the internet,
Which I do.
Dreamer is, of those four, the only one who doesn't have a very serious deal. Says the internet. I don't purport these things as fact. I purport these things as fact that they're on the internet. Mm. if you're following me, because he runs.
Maybe after tonight he'll get a contract.
That would be cool. But he runs House of Hardcore. He sells his own shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com.
So he probably doesn't want to be under contract.
He'd rather be a guy on the main roster who gets to
make his own money on the side.
Who gets to make his own money.
That's smart.
House of Hardcore runs really cool shows. I've heard of a lot of fairly recent interviews with him where he really wants to try something different there and do his own thing. Mm-hmm. But it's really good that they let him. It's really good that they needed him and wanted him and let him display himself again. Mm-hmm. Use a cheese grater to the balls. That's a time I think there are other wrestlers who might be capable or want to do that. That they'd be like, no, that's a Tommy Dreamer move.
Yeah.
Just cheese grater in general.
Sorry.
It's Tommy Dreamer. ECW originals. I hope they find a way to keep Ryback up there. Or Rhino.
Ryback versus Rhino. Who knows?
I hope
Hey,
they get
that wouldn't be
I hope
bad.
that kid Ryback gets to stay up on the main roster. I hope they find a way to keep Rhino up there.
Yep. What to do?
Agreed. All those words. And then we get to move on to pretty much the upset of the night. And it's Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. The Wyatt Family match went 12 minutes, 30 seconds. Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens went 9 minutes, 52 seconds. I like this match. I like Kevin Owens' promo up top, where he talks about how if you're a fan of a football team, you're essentially a lazy loser who, instead of doing something, can just take pride in something somebody else does. It's a good promo.
Not a bad point.
It's not a bad point. But I rubbed the rabbit's foot a certain way, and that's why the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots last week.
It's
my one-
his fault, guys.
It's my one burn. I get
Screwed up
one.
your fantasy teams, I bet.
I get one Patriots burn. That's my one. And then gets to talk about Dean Ambrose. And my favorite line, and the line I'm sure people are going to quote of Kevin Owens, was, "I eat popcorn and drink soda all the time, every day." And I think people are just going to pull up a picture of him and then have that quote. And it's just because he's a heel and like people, and it's a cartoonish world. I think people are just going to be able to play into that. Mm-hmm. But it might turn negative quick if he has any problems with his size, which I don't think he does. Dean Ambrose comes out. These two have a great match. And Dean Ambrose over.
Yeah, didn't think that was going to happen.
Something nobody predicted.
It was his birthday the other day. So he probably wished it for his birthday.
Aww.
Is that how these things happen?
Cute.
I don't know. It happened for the kid in Liar Liar.
What do you think Nene got him?
I'm sure we can't really discuss what she got him.
Are we already calling Renee Young Nene?
Yeah. I feel like Chris Jericho started that on Tough Enough.
Okay, but Chris Jericho knows her. Like, you don't know Renee Young. Like, I've never
we're
met.
going to be working very closely, side by side, very soon. I'm sure of it. So
When all three of us are on Tough Enough?
Yes.
When all three of us are contestants on Tough Enough?
Who's going to host the after show?
Rosenberg. Yeah, I liked everything about this match. The suspension of disbelief was there, especially because most people didn't expect Kevin Owens to lose. Mm-hmm. And do you guys have any favorites about this match?
I picked Dean Ambrose to win.
I was setting you up for that.
I didn't tell you guys this, but I actually saw on Instagram before that he did win. And that's when I was like, what am I doing on Instagram? Shut it down.
Yeah. We also got, earlier in the night, we got a Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose promo.
Or again.
And this is like the third or fourth,
sequel.
middle of the card promo we get between Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, where they're like, we're bros, we're both gonna go out there and we're gonna win, and yeah, I got your back, you got my back, like that kind of promo. And every time I see that promo, I'm like, this just feels like a seed to make Dean Ambrose turn heel. Mm-hmm. And every time they don't do it. Mm-hmm. And
Please, I'm begging you one thing. Just don't be that guy that if Dean Ambrose were to turn heel and be like, see, I saw it coming. I totally called it. Just don't be that guy.
No. I'll be that guy who will go, finally.
Yeah.
I've been saying this will happen for a very long time, and I think at the pace we're going, it won't happen. Or it won't happen in the incarnation we're talking about.
Like Christy said, what's wrong with just being bros? Like, is that such a crime?
That's your quote from months ago when
Okay,
we first
maybe.
started talking about this.
Yeah, probably.
You were like, can't you guys just be bros?
Yeah,
it
what's
was
wrong
the
with
funniest
bros?
thing you've ever said, and now you just try to give me credit for it. I should just take it.
Yeah, I gave you the
All right.
handout.
I did say that. It was funny.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think is next for Kevin Owens? Crickets.
Weight
Got it.
Watchers?
No, we're not doing that here. But I ask because I don't actually know. I think he could do something really special with Tyler Breeze.
Sami Zayn returns at the Royal Rumble.
I was gonna say that.
Okay.
I was gonna say that right now. I was gonna say now
Yeah.
that because obviously Sami Zayn just came back on. He's actually wrestling on the England NXT shows, and he's obviously it wouldn't be his first time on the main roster too. We all remember his match with John Cena, and I just hope that they don't just assume that everybody knows about their feud. I hope they kind of just give us a nice reminder on why Sami and Owens just don't like each other. So,
Rebuild.
Yeah, but I agree with Mark. I think Sami Zayn comes back. Or he comes to the main roster and feud with Owens.
Well, yeah, I think everyone thought that Kevin Owens was going to keep the belt for a long, long time. So the fact that it's been taken off of him now just means that, of course, that's what they're setting up.
The building up for Sami. But do you think it happens tomorrow? I side with Mark where you could just keep him off until the Rumble. I also think it would be really cool is if one of the Rumble spots was given to an NXT roster member and they have a battle royal or a tournament to decide it.
They probably do
like
that.
morning.
I like that idea.
Like usually they just call some like Rusev 2 or 3 years ago they called him up through the Rumble. Whereas I think it would be cool is like no you're still a member of the NXT roster but you get one shot.
They did it for Bo Dallas.
Did they do that? You're right. They did do that for Bo Dallas. But like they can do.
Look how it turned out for him.
He's still up there.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's not down there.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
He got punched out in the Halloween episode. That's right.
He's still up there. I think now's a very good time to very briefly mention Lorenzo Haynes, who sent me a Stump George question. And if you have a Stump George question, it's hashtag Stump George. Hit me up on Twitter. I will follow you so we can direct message so George has no knowledge of the question. The Slammies, I believe, will be a week from tomorrow night. They haven't really announced anything. That would make sense. It would be a year-end Monday Night Raw. How many Slammies has John Cena won?
Dude, I don't know. 17?
You don't know?
I don't know. I have no idea. There's too many. First off, I swear to
There are
God.
too many,
hold
says the guy who said,
on.
that one SmackDown in 2002.
I would know the answer if they had every single Slammy Award on TV. But there are so many other Slammy Awards that they don't even talk about on TV. There's like, oh, by the way, if you go to WWE.com, there's all these other Slammy Award-winning things that, you can check out. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Talk to me something about what's on TV. If it's on TV, I'll know it.
Lorenzo felt like you'd say that. So there's a follow-up question. We can bail you out of that.
Now, if he says that, how many Slammies did he win on TV? Dude, I don't know.
How many Slammies has Randy Orton won? And then this will be it.
I don't know. 17? No. He's probably won like 6.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Randy Orton has won 1 Slammy.
Oh, sad.
And I haven't even looked it up, but I'm pretty sure it's the OMG moment where he hit an
Christian?
RKO out of nowhere on Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne did a shooting star press, and then he hit him. So George has been stumped.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Lorenzo Haynes. George has been stumped. There we go.
That's because how many Grammys has Madonna won? I don't know.
18.
Has she?
I said it with confidence. I don't know.
I don't think Madonna's won 18 Grammys. Sorry, Madonna.
Anyway.
Sorry, Madge.
Speaking of Madonna, I'm going to talk about something that has nothing to do with Madonna.
Where are we going here?
We're going to Charlotte with Ric Flair against Paige. This match, the rematch of last month, the slow deterioration of Team PCB with the family drama and the Dead Brothers and all of the things, plus Ric Flair. Ric Flair's here now.
Yay.
And I already forgot how to pronounce Paige's mom's name.
Soraya.
Soraya. Okay.
Well, that's her ring name.
That's her ring name. Her actual name is Paige. No, her actual
You
name.
already said it's not.
Her actual name is Julie.
Right.
It's Paige. It's Paige's name that's actually Soraya. A lot of people on Twitter have been saying it would be really cool if Soraya came out with Paige to the ring. I think that would make this match really special. But
I disagree.
They would have had to spend a lot of time explaining who Soraya is.
Exactly.
Disagree. Yeah, but Paige has made Soraya a thing. She's the one who's always talking about, I was wrestling when I was in my mommy's womb. Like, we've all heard that story a million
But it's not
times.
that. It's when Charlotte's dad comes out, you don't have to say a thing, and you know who Charlotte's dad is. If Paige's mom were to come out, it's like, oh, who's that lady?
But once you knew, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense for her to be there.
I just don't think people would care.
Really?
I'd buy.
It might make me care a teeny bit.
I'd buy that people might not care up front, and I think if it were a last-minute addition, I wouldn't care. But if it were set up 3 weeks in advance, which some of these things aren't, it seems not to be that way. But I'm on this rant where the Divas division specifically never seems to have a direction other than like month to month or even week to week. other than like maybe we keep the belt on Nikki or maybe we keep the belt on Charlotte, and then we tween them back and forth. And they've gotten way better, but I've had a lot of issues with the Divas division and the booking and writing of the Divas division, because Paige will step out and call them out on it, but then she's still part of the system, so it'll come back around. This match was great, though. This match was great, and it told a story that felt a little muddled, but was essentially that Charlotte wants to win. Charlotte loves her father. Paige said mean things, and Charlotte wants to win. I covered the bullet points of this match.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
Like, those were the clear bullet points. There were a lot of things that were unclear, which is like whether Charlotte thinks that's right. That doesn't become clear till later. Whether
the fact that the first contender got beat by Becky Lynch on SmackDown,
yeah,
and yet she's not in the match.
Whether we're supposed to like Paige, because I guess Ric Flair has reached a level of legend that he can do Healy things, and you'll cheer him because he's Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. And I think the story they're trying to tell, and it became more clear after the match with the Becky Lynch promo, that Ric Flair is trying to bring Charlotte down that road. The only difference is we're eventually going to boo Charlotte if Charlotte keeps acting like Ric Flair, whereas Ric Flair is just immortal and Ric Flair.
That's true. And
then Becky Lynch is going to try to bring her to that other side. But that's not the match that happened. The match that happened was just Paige came in and went pretty by the numbers and did a face comeback, and then Charlotte ultimately takes off the middle turnbuckle stuffing, and then just gets Paige in the face with it. 1, 2, 3.
Randy Orton did not win. Oh my God, hero of the word. He's only won one, and it was for hashtag of the year last year. That doesn't count.
Anyway.
Thanks for staying on point, George.
Thank you so much for staying on topic. Yeah, I don't know where we were now, but no, but I honestly also Ric Flair used 2 of his 3 strikes, or he was almost thrown off because at one point moved the leg, another point he tried to uncover that turnbuckle.
But what do you think about that? We all saw it, but what do you think?
Well,
we want to know what you think about it.
Well, while you were looking it up, I explained that he's immortal and. He's immortal, and we accept what Flair does as a face just because he's been Ric Flair for so long, but Charlotte, and then...
I just didn't get, like, what was I supposed to care about this match?
Like, it felt a little...
I felt the same way.
Well, and I think we all know why. It was a little backpedaling, because they went for the moon. They went for the moon with that main event segment in Raw last month, where you mentioned Dead Brother, and you really go for it, and you make Ric Flair cry on a podcast... that you kind of have to rein it back in, and then they kind of blame Charlotte a little bit. They kind of turn around and blame Charlotte, where we all know it was it's a team effort until something like that happens and Ric Flair cries, and then it's Charlotte's fault. Ric Flair cries a lot, but yeah, I like where they're going with Charlotte, and now with Becky. I don't know what they're gonna do with Paige, and this match didn't. Like, if anything, this match gives Paige the right to just be a straight-up face. Hey, you beat me by cheating. That means I'm better than you. Let me prove to the world I'm better than you. And that's... Are they going to do that, or is Becky going to do that? Is it going to get muddled again?
Tune in and we'll find out.
Is Team Bad going to get involved?
I hope so.
What do the Bella Twins have to say about it? Like, it's all like... Because at best they get 2 segments... And I just named enough people to fill more than that, and you could give them that time on SmackDown. I'm ranting. We're gonna move on.
My Nikki Bella plaque came in the mail, but I haven't opened it yet to see what number I got. Just sidebar.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
So if everyone else out there has all tweeted all their numbers, that one that's missing, it's mine. I'm hoping for number. Well, I don't know.
All right. So now we're on to the main event of the evening. This main event got 23 minutes 58 seconds. It was a tables, ladders, and chair match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It was Sheamus defending against Roman Reigns. This match, by the time the bell rang on this match, we already knew George was champion because nobody picked Roman Reigns.
No.
Nobody picked no contest because you can't. It's a ladder match. I'm starting to come around on Roman Reigns.
Really?
And this is from somebody who was in Philadelphia for the Royal Rumble when we booed him. We booed him hard. And it wasn't him personally, it was how they presented him to us.
How they were shoving him down your throat.
And we're finally to a place with Roman Reigns where I think we're okay. Like, the odds are stacked against him, and he's not so forced because Sheamus is the forced one now. Sheamus is the forced character that Roman Reigns is. I'm coming around for him. Are you guys? I'm going to look at the chat because the chat might be calling me crazy.
Yeah, let's see what they have to say.
Jonas Tiger, boo Steve.
No, it's just the more I see of him, the more I dislike. Or not, it's not about him. You're right. It's about just the fact of what they do with him and that they're pushing him down our throats all the time. They're trying to tell us what to think about him and trying to tell us what he can do. And it's just like...
But
I would have believed that he was great before. Like, you didn't have to keep, like, telling me that you don't have to throw him in the ring with 4 other guys and make me believe that that happened. Like, just let it go. Let it be.
But I'm saying letting him go this long with Sheamus and ultimately need more guys to help win against Sheamus and then have him just literally be so frustrated that he beats down on his boss. And I understand they're literally giving him Seth Rollins' spot.
Right. Exactly.
Like, this is quite literally the dilemma they faced when Seth Rollins went down was how can we get someone in Seth Rollins' spot? Or fill the gap. And the gap was we need a monster.
And still tell the same story.
We need a monster main event champion heel. And we need somebody to have a marquee match with Triple H at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is filling the marquee match at WrestleMania with Triple H. Sheamus is filling the multi-segment heel WWE champion that nobody likes. So I guess between those two things, I like Roman Reigns more. I think that's how I broke it down. George, how do you feel about Roman Reigns?
I've always liked Roman Reigns. I mean, obviously the Shield was so great as a team that they all had their own individual strengths. And Roman Reigns' strength, like, it never like lessened for me. He was always, I can always tell that he was going to be the guy. And just because that he might have been booked a little incorrectly in the past 6 months or so, doesn't mean I'm going to lose faith in him. That faith is always going to be there. And I'm just happy that it looks like they finally found a good story for him so the fans can get behind. Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for, just the fans to get behind him, and they just finally found a good storyline to do that. And with the way the last 5 minutes were booked of TLC, not the match, but the whole event, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, we were always kind of behind Roman Reigns.
Like, I never came around for him because I had come around for him like 2 years ago.
But we're against Triple H. Like, that's on that seed was planted 20 years ago. We don't like Triple H. Like, we don't like Triple H jamming anyone down our throats. So I just hope the momentum from those last 5 minutes.
I think sometimes less is more. I don't want them to come out there and say, oh, you guys should cheer Roman Reigns. Just let the action speak for itself. Yeah. That's the magical thing about pro wrestling is, yes, sometimes you can do the promo, but there's this physicality that you can just always go back to. You don't really need the words and the way it was just set up. And even with that last spear that Roman Reigns, I thought that was just perfection.
Oh yeah. So much so.
Oh, there's the name.
Much so
that was Triple H's amazing audible that he did after getting speared.
Oh, I love it. Does anyone know the Gregory brothers well enough to get them to auto-tune that into a song?
Give me 5 minutes.
Done. Also, you heard in that clip, thank you, Roman. The fans aren't chanting USA. The fans aren't chanting CM Punk. The fans are chanting, thank you, Roman. The fans are chanting alongside a pretty well-established take that guy down. And I think we're on a good road. The road to WrestleMania, so to speak. Because from here, I think Roman Reigns is... Well, from tomorrow night, I think Roman Reigns needs to come out and just flat out say, yeah, I'm here. I didn't expect to be here. Do what you must. And then they're going to try to talk down to him again, and he's going to say, I don't care, book me.
I think he just needs to be more, or they need to let him be himself a little bit more. Anytime you hear Roman Reigns outside of the wrestling ring, outside of a wrestling show, he is so charismatic, laid back, cool. That guy's a good-looking guy as it is. Like he can has so much ability to, like, kind of like a Jeff Hardy, where, like, yeah, the girls love him. And the guys can love him too. Just Roman Reigns is, bringing out the physicality, and just let him be himself. Stop writing all the promos for him. Like, let's just give him, like, bullet points and just let him do his thing. But my biggest thing is when he was hurt, like last year, he should have had promos like on the live events.
Yeah.
Where nobody's watching, only the local market, and then that way he can improve his mic skills. That's why you've seen, like, in the last few weeks that he's starting to get a lot better, because they're just kind of giving more mic time.
Yeah, and they're
like, don't expect them to hit a home run in the beginning.
And they're not feeding him lines either.
He makes one verbal stumble every single time. He never, ever, ever has a completely clean promo where he doesn't screw up a word or two or something. I just need to see him do one where he doesn't screw it up.
But do you want to know? But that's what that's what we're saying. How he won't screw it up.
Just be himself.
Is if they say.
No, I agree.
If they say you need to get these 4 points across.
Yeah, because it's the dumb words that he's always fumbling over. Like, you can tell it's something that someone said to him. You have to use this phrase or whatever.
Well, no,
like,
more
say
specifically,
whatever you want.
You
but,
can
like,
tell they gave him 3
pages
pages of dialogue.
Right.
Which, like, kills most of the art of an actual promo. But we have to deal with that, and he needs to get to a level where he can stand up to those people and tell them, just trust me. I'd rather die on this hill than keep doing what you tell me. But, so says me, and I only read the internet. the fact that it's a fact on the internet. So moving forward to the Rumble, I think he's going to wind up in the Rumble. I think Triple H is going to screw him out of the Rumble. And then maybe he'll wind up in the championship match at Fastlane, and then he'll get screwed out of that by Triple H, and it'll set up the obvious blow-off, Triple H, Roman Reigns. While I'm talking Royal Rumble, first off, hate that logo. Change it right now. Second, the Royal Rumble already has a logo, already has a font. Secondly, who's our early prediction, real quick, for the Royal Rumble? Because that's the next one. That's the next time a lot of people will see all 3 of us together.
Oh, yeah.
Barring that Inglewood show being a network special.
Which I still have my fingers crossed for.
Do you have a... The betting lines have Brock Lesnar.
Oh, that would make sense.
That's all I'm bringing. But, like, Brock Lesnar is going to come back towards WrestleMania time. They don't... Other than give him the belt or make him the contender, I don't see much else for him. But...
Yeah,
thought I'd
if
bring
he's
it up,
bothering
get
to
some
come
discussion.
back. Yeah, no, if he's bothering to come back, it's probably going to be him.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I think we covered all the matches. Had a good time. George, if the people want to try to stump you on Twitter, now that it's been
that
shown...
That was not a legitimate stump.
We're not going to do
Lorenzo,
this.
he is so mad.
I'm not mad. It's just like, hey, it's like, who's won the most VMAs?
Eminem.
Wow.
No, these other examples you use would not pertain.
It's the same.
If people want to tell you you're right, where can they find you on
There we
Twitter,
go.
George?
You can find me at G Hermoza. The road to 500 followers began a few days ago.
Congratulations.
As I surpassed 400 followers, and I even got the congratulatory email.
Those are nice.
About the 400 followers. So G Hermoza, Twitter, Instagram. Yep. What do you do?
Christy Olson, where can the people find you?
I am also on Twitter and Instagram at Christy Reports, and please check out ChristyReports.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Christy Reports. There's lots of new juicy interviews.
Woo. And you guys can find me at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. I do a lot of shows here at AfterBuzz TV. I tweet about them fairly regularly. And thank you so much for joining us. And good night.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
Later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.